The Berkshire meeting is over, and Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger are starting to sound a lot like the two faces of the Fed. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Daily Update. Our Kentucky Derby horse didn't win, but we gave it a shot and came in third. In the meantime, here we are. Markets had another update, so we were up Friday, which we didn't update, but we were up Friday big after being down big, and here we are up again, but we're still below that little bit of a downtrend line. And of course, today about 2 o'clock, President Trump tweeted out that we were going to see the Iran deal resolved tomorrow, and the market sold off a little bit before coming back and closing higher, Dow up about 100. But of course, the Berkshire meeting was over. That was this weekend, and of course, if you hear them speak, Munger and Buffett, they talked about Bitcoin being rat poison and all these other things, and that they're not real. And I think these are the same guys who believe that the internet wasn't real as well. They're the same guys who said that tax inversion was not good and yet went out and bought Hortons. And they're also the same guys that own a ton of Goldman Sachs, who is in the Bitcoin business as well. So you tell me, I'll leave that decision up to you. But in the meantime, as I said, the markets were higher, and they didn't look great, but they were higher. Apple spiked up once again, but slowly all day kind of slowed down and sold off a little bit, still being up about $1.30. Bubba was up, but I think that's a little bit overdone. I think when you're looking at the bigger picture, you're starting to see that there's real lack of volume. As we talk about all the time, dull markets will tend to drift higher. I think that's exactly what you saw today. I think we get some volume. I think you start to see some selling. Bonds are working their way back up again. The notes are working back up towards that 3% level. You know, what we have to look for here is what are the opportunities? And it's not about whether we're going to go up or down. It's what gives you the best chance to make money. If you're trading, if you're investing, we always say that the markets will go up 8% year over year. So at that point, Warren Buffett and I are in perfect harmony and agreement. But again, a lot of his practices I'm not in agreement with. So we'll see how that all plays out. Obviously, he's got a multi-billion-dollar corporation, so he's done very well for himself. We can't knock the success, but I can knock some of the things that are said, because a lot of things, as we talk about, is when you hear things from advisors or people in the know or people with the big cash, they sometimes are not always telling it the way that they actually really believe it. So we'll see how that all plays out. In the meantime, oil had a dramatic reversal today after spiking higher, getting close to 71, closed in the 69 level. Again, this is all tied into what's going on tonight with Iran. This is all tied into what's going on with this in the Mideast. It's a fear trade. It may go up forever, but I would tell you right now that the way the formation lays out, oil is a much better short than it is a long here. That's just the way it looks. I can't change the formation. So if I can buy December oil today $3 cheaper than I can buy June oil, that's not the right way it should be. So we'll continue to watch and see how that plays out. In the meantime, the grains got punished today a little bit, and really no surprise. We wrote about it over the weekend that grain should see a little bit of selling. They're not going to go straight up. We do still see the potential of a big market coming. And if you tie that in with the cattle, feeder cattle was down significantly today with corn lower, which again, everybody wants to always make a correlation. Now, in long term, there may be a correlation because of the feed corn for feeders, but today there wasn't. So you can't always play it that way. Fats were down a little bit. Hogs were higher today. We expected that. We expect the fats and the feeders to go higher as well. Bitcoin was a little bit weak today, but again, it's had such a nice move. It looks like it wants to go higher. Again, I think you're going to see that the cryptocurrencies are real. They're going to be around. In the meantime, we are now winding down from all the news. We're winding down from earnings. We're winding down from all the other things that we've been watching. And yes, the earnings were good, but they weren't that good, which is why we're not seeing these big explosive rallies when you should. You're seeing markets showing some major weakness at times when they should be rallying. And this is something that we watch. You know, if you get a great number and great news and the market doesn't react to it, that tells you that the market has already priced that in. And we're big believers that markets are well ahead of the curve and price things in. So we are still very comfortable with our call the top from January 29th, and we will continue to look to sell these rallies. There is no other reason to look here because, again, in oil and in the equities, the rallies are not real anymore. The rallies are being driven by nothing. They've priced in everything. In the oil, they priced in the fear. So we'll see. Gold, pretty much moderating, but we're not surprised. We're actually looking for 1280 in gold before we see any serious rally from here. We still love the sell gold, buy silver, dollar for dollar. I think that's still a very, very solid trade. And I think there's going to be some things to do, but when volumes get quiet, when markets get quiet, that's when we want to be ready to go and ready to sit back and wait for our opportunity. Interestingly enough, the VIX was up all day, not a lot, but up all day in a market that was up all day, which is a perfect indication that the markets are getting ready to probably sell the other side. Now, we do know the commercials are selling VIX futures. Again, they've got enough equity to take a shot, but remember, they are not short-term trading. They've already got a long position on, and they're short some futures. So again, a lot of the stuff they do is more of an arbitrage type of trade, not actually. So don't focus on one. Try to focus on their whole position. Like the big deal here today is they're massively short gold futures and only slightly short silver, which is unusual. They're usually well short silver as well. So at the end of the day, the markets were very blasé, not a lot of excitement. Let's see what happens when the Iran announcement comes in. In my mind, there's no way that we're not pulling out of that deal. I can't not imagine that the president is going to allow this deal to stand. I don't even think there's any wiggle room. That's my opinion. We'll see how it plays out. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Daily Update, and we will see you back here tomorrow at the same time, same station. But always remember, if you want to help us out with our high school investing program, that's highschoolinvesting.com. And of course, to help us out, you go to Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. Also, catch the Bubba Show every day from 4 to 5 Eastern at libertytalk.fm. Have a great day, everybody. You have a great trading day tomorrow, and we will see you tomorrow after the close with Bubba's Daily Update. As always, thank you. We'll see you next time.